Hello guys, welcome to Cell World. In this module we have learned about approaches of network security and low-end network security. So we start approaches of network security. In this, organization can choose from several approaches to network security. A particular approach or paradigm will influence all subsequent security decisions and set the tone for the entire organization network security infrastructure. Network security paradigms can be classified by either the scope of security measure taken. There are three parameters: security approach, layered security approach, and hybrid security approach. So start from parameter security approach. In a parameter security approach, the bulk of security efforts are focused on the parameter of the network. This focus might include firewalls, proxy servers, password policies, use any technology or procedure that makes unauthorized access of the network less likely. Little or no effort is made to secure system within the network. In this approach, the parameter is secured, but the various systems within that parameter are often vulnerable. This parameter approach is clearly flawed, so why do some companies use it? A small organization might use the parameter approach if they have budget constraint or an inexperienced network administrator. This method might be adequate for a small organization that don't store sensitive data, but it rarely work in a large corporate settings. Second approach is layered security approach. In a layered security approach is one in which not only is the parameter secured, but individual systems within the network are also secured. All servers, workstation, routers, and hubs within the network are secure. One way to accomplish this is to divide the network into segments and secure each segment as if it were a separate network, so that if parameter security is compromised, not all internal systems are affected. Layered security is the preferred approach whenever possible. You should also measure your security approach by how proactive and or reactive it is. You do this by determining how much of the system security infrastructure and policies are dedicated to preventive measures as opposed to how much are devoted to simply responding to an attack after it has occurred. A passive security approach takes few or no steps to prevent an attack. Conversely, a dynamic security approach or proactive defense is one in which steps are taken to prevent attacks before they occur. One example of a proactive defense is the use of an IDS, which is likely to detect attempt to circumvent security measure. This system can tell a system administrator that an attempt to breach security has been made, even if that attempt is not successful. An IDS can also be used to detect various techniques intruders use to target a system, thus alerting a network administrator to the potential for an attempted breach before the attempt is even initiated. The third is hybrid security approach. In the real world, network security is rarely completely in one paradigm or another. Networks generally fall along a continuum with elements of more than one security paradigm. The two categories also combine to form a hybrid approach. One can have a network that is predominantly passive but layered, or one that is primarily perimeter but proactive. The most desirable hybrid approach is a layered paradigm that is dynamic. Now the topic is low-end network security. An increasing number of legal issues affect how administrators approach network security. If your organization is a publicly traded company, a government agency, or does business with either, there may be legal constraints to choose your security approach. Legal constraints include any laws that affect how information is stored or accessed, even if your network is not legally bound to these security guidelines. Reviewing the various laws impacting computer security and perhaps derives ideas that can apply to your own security standard is useful. One of the oldest pieces of legislation in the US affecting computer security is the Computer Security Act of 1987, 100th Congress 1987. This act requires government agencies to identify sensitive systems, conduct computer security training, and develop computer security plans. This law is the vague mandate ordering federal agencies in the US to establish security measures without specifying any standard. Computer Misuse Act 1990 is the base law for all other computer related laws in the UK. It applies to the whole of UK and is usually the underlying law used to charge a suspect of a computer crime. Crimes like credential stealing, hacking, and phishing are considered Section 1 offenses, which can lead to 6 months to 2 years in prison. Section 2 crimes are the crimes intended to be performed after a hacker has penetrated the system, such as using the credentials stolen to access a server or committing fraud. Guilty with the Section 2 Act of the Computer Misuse Act can lead up to 5 years in prison. Keep in mind that any laws that governs privacy also has a direct impact on computer security. If a system is compromised and data that is covered under any privacy statute is compromised, you might need to prove that you exercise due diligence to protect that data. So for now, module 1 is closed. Thank you for watching this video. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe us on YouTube channel. Thank you.